Hey guys, this is Sundrops and Valentine's is coming up. So if you need something different and something that you'd rather make yourself instead of buying the same old teddy bears, or you can give it in addition to the teddy bear or candy, and you can also decorate with this. So they are conversation hearts. And you see these candies everywhere for Valentine's season. They're really easy to make, and I'm going to show you how to make them real quick. So the first thing you need, obviously, is some insulation board. Now this is only a 1/2 inch, and you could probably get this like at a Home Depot or Lowe's, something like that. You can probably also buy this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, whatever craft store you might have. I would definitely stay away from the really rough stuff. As you can see, this is really smooth. So stay away from the rough stuff, like the styrofoam balls are often made out of, because that would make it like a lot harder to paint. You're also going to need some stencils. And these are 2-inch stencils I'm using. It's a pack of 48 for $3.88, but of course you can use any stencils you'd like. You need 2 paintbrushes, a bigger one to do the bulk of the painting, and then a smaller one for the detail letters. You need a pencil so that you can actually use your stencil and write onto the styrofoam, and 2 colors of paints, or you can make it a rainbow, whatever you choose. I'm just using a solid color because that's how the candies come, and then I'm writing my letters in red. And you're going to need a utility knife of some sort to carve out the hearts. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is draw your heart. I freehanded mine and I was happy with my heart. So as you can see, I was a little bit short here, but I don't think it needs perfection, so I was good with it. Just make sure that when you're drawing your initial heart, you don't put too much pressure down with your pencil, because it would make an indentation. And then when you go to redo it, if you're not happy with the first one, after you flip it once, you'll be able to see the line. Not that that's like a make or break situation, but if you don't put too much pressure down, you'll still be able to see it, because it's white foam board and it doesn't take much to be able to see it. Now once you get your first one and you're happy with it, then of course you can use that for a template and make as many as you like. So after you make your first heart and you outline it, obviously the next thing you need to do is cut it. So I'm just using my straight edge, and instead of like cutting it like this, I'm kind of going up and down. Now it's not going to be a perfectly smooth edge, and I don't think it needs to be. Some of you out there might have hot tools to cut foam. I do not have one of those. So I am going to go ahead and just cut mine like this. At this point, if you have anything that you're not happy with, you could probably just try to turn it a little bit. Fix the edges. Alright, so there you have it. There's your first part to your conversation heart. Next part is pretty simple. Next thing you're going to do is put your coat of paint that you want on here. I'm going to choose green because I haven't done a green one. Now, I don't remember if I mentioned it, but these little paints you could buy at a craft store from about 50 cents for the matte finish. And the gloss, I believe, are about 88 cents. So either way, it's under $1 for one of these. And you don't really need much. So just paint all of it. Get a good coat, good coverage. Okay, so now you've painted the front, you've let it dry. You've painted the back, and you've let it dry. And you've painted the edges. Now, I will say if you start early in the morning and you want to make a whole bunch of these, it's very possible to do that. Once you get the first template, all you got to do is cut a bunch of them out, start early in the morning, and just paint them all at once, then let them all dry, flip them, let them all dry, and there you go, you can make a bunch. But I started a little bit later in the day, and then I just let it dry overnight. Then I did the edge this morning. So I am going to now stencil. I'm going to choose to do X's and O's for this one. Now, of course, some people are a little perfectionist or whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to sit there and measure exactly the distance to center it or anything like that. I'm just going to eyeball it. So very lightly with your pencil, you go ahead and do a little outline of your stencil. Now in this stencil set, they also had like little fancy designs, like scroll work and whatnot. I am not going to do any of that. And also on my other ones, on my previous ones, if you notice there was a little bit of, let me show you. I wasn't sure how it would turn out, but I actually did an outline of clear, the same paint, but it was glitter. And when it dried, you can't really see the glitter too much, so I would be careful on doing that unless you do the whole thing. I think I like the look of this one that doesn't have any kind of glitter on it. This one just kind of looks like it's, I don't know, wet along the edges instead of it being as glittery as I thought it would turn out to be. So just a little word of advice. So I'm going to just do these, and then I'm going to paint them in, and we'll be done. Alright, so I know it's not showing up too much, if at all, but I can clearly see where it is. Alright, so all I have to do now is paint in the letters. So I'm going to use my smaller of the paintbrushes, and I just usually use, I save all my like Country Crock or whatever little lids I have from my butter after it's empty, and I just use this, and then I could just toss it out, or you could just peel off the old paint like that. It comes right off usually once it's all dried, and then I could just reuse it. So nice little recycling. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and paint this. I also wanted to mention real super fast that when you are using your utility knife to cut this, if you don't want to cut up your table, you should maybe do it outside on the ground or on a table where you really don't mind if it gets scratched, because it is a blade and it will go through the styrofoam, so inevitably it might hit your table and cut your tablecloth if you have a tablecloth, or if you have a wood table that you're working on, like a nice wood table, you don't want to ruin that. I have this plastic table, so I could do it on here because it's really okay. Alright guys, so there you have it. Another conversation heart made. So I hope you found this craft to be easy and unique. And if you like it, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I'm going to be making more crafts. Not only can you give these as gifts, you can also decorate your room or a classroom or any space with them, actually, because they're lightweight. Alright guys, have a happy Valentine's. Bye!